We're from Fancy Tiger Crafts.
And we're going to show you how to get your craft on.
Tips for safely and accurately using a rotary cutter. The most important thing to remember when using a rotary cutter is that the blade is extremely sharp. You always want to have the blade covered when the rotary cutter is not in use. Most rotary cutters have a safety feature that can expose and cover the blade. You only ever want to have it exposed when you're using the rotary cutter. When it's time to start cutting, if you're using a ruler, you want to make sure that your fingers are out of the way of the blade. So don't put them anywhere near the edge of the ruler, just in the middle of the ruler so that you don't cut yourself. If you're not using a ruler, again, just make sure your fingers are always behind the blade and not in front of the blade.
To accurately cut with a rotary cutter, you're going to pay attention to the marks on your ruler, not the marks on the mat behind. I'm going to start by cutting a straight line perpendicular to the selvage. So I'm going to line up one of the lines on my ruler with the edge of the selvage. When cutting, you always want to put more pressure on the hand that's holding the ruler and spread your fingers apart so you get a good pressure across the entirety of the ruler. Then take the blade out of your rotary cutter and with a lighter pressure, run the rotary cutter along the edge of the ruler. More pressure is on my left hand and I'm going lighter with my right hand, and that ensures that I won't move the ruler as I'm cutting. With a sharp blade, you should cut with no problem. Once you have that cut, you can measure, for example, a 5-inch strip. You would run the line on your ruler along that fresh cut, and then again, just run the rotary cutter along the edge of your ruler. There's also angled marks on your ruler, and with that you can cut triangles and all sorts of geometric shapes. If I wanted to cut a 5-inch square and then make a half square triangle from that, I would again use the line on my ruler, cut my 5-inch square. Oops, I need to open the blade. And then I can cut from point to point, but also those angles on the ruler can be helpful to line up for certain types of shapes that you might want to cut. And now I have 2 half square triangles.